What's up, YouTube? This is Justin from Party Rental Knowledge.com. If you don't know, I help teach tips and tricks in the party rental industry, help you start companies. Today, I got Greg Gordon here. He's the owner of Party Machines, and I figured I'd let him just introduce himself real quick. So,
Great.
Who are you, Greg, and what do you do?
I am, as Justin said, I'm Greg Gordon from Party Machines. The website is partymachines.com, and every bit of social media, whether you still want to look at MySpace, it's still up, or TikTok with the 594,000 followers, it's at Party Machines. And I design, manufacture, and sell foam machines to people who throw foam parties for a living. I'm a manufacturer. I'm not a rental company. And I get my stuff from most of it from China. We bring container loads into Central Texas and distribute it throughout the world.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to sum it up. So if people don't know foam, you can do foam parties, and it's a real big thing that's coming up for the most part in the industry. It's definitely a newer thing. The search term isn't that old per se, so it's just becoming mainstream, like yard signs and stuff like that. Like they've been around for a while, a little bit. Same thing with foam. You've been in this for how? When did you get started in the business?
I appreciate the question because I love this discussion. It's easy. I was renting margarita machines between Halloween 1998 and November 2005. It was January 2002. One of my regular fraternities was having a party in July 2002. They called me in January, said, "Hey, Greg, we need 2 margarita machines again this year. We're having a rush party. We also need a foam machine. Can you rent us a foam machine?" I said, "Yeah, I'll get you a phone booth." They said FOAM, foam. I said, "That's what I said." The guy says, "What'd you charge? What do you charge?" I said, "What'd you pay last year?" He said, $1,400. So immediately I realized that I was charging him $100 to rent a margarita machine that weighed 185 pounds and cost me $2,600 to purchase. I had to have a pickup truck, a cart, the 5-gallon bucket, and the sticky goo stuff to mix inside of it. And there was an air conditioning unit involved in the margarita machine. I was going to get $1,400, 14 times the money, for a foam machine that I went online in 2002 and found that weighed 40 pounds. It was $2,200. And so I was off to the races. I said earlier, I don't rent stuff. Between 2002 and 2007, I evolved that one foam machine into building them myself, because it was a carpet dryer with a lawnmower bag on the front of it with some PVC parts and some shrub sprayer heads and a submersible water pump and a hose. It wasn't much. So I figured out how to make a better one. I discovered in August of 2005 was my first trip to China, and I realized I could get a container load of them in. And now, fast forward in 2021, I sell 2 complete foam machines with all the accoutrement for $1,830 when I used to rent one for $1,400. And the original one that I made, or that I was proud of, drew 12 amps of power, weighed 70 pounds, and would cut your arm off because that fan blade was spinning so fast. It was a flat blade fan. Now the circular inline duct fans draw 1.8 amps of power, and they only weigh 14 pounds, and they have a hanging bracket attached. They're essentially disposable, because my last container had 1,505 of the foam machines in it, and the next one it won't be one. It'll be 2 containers next time they come in, because that's it. The more foam machines I sell, the more foam machines I sell. And when I started, this is another one. I have a million favorite things. I still go to trade shows. My original one was the American Camping Association Tri-State Camp Conference in Atlantic City. About 14 years ago, 19 out of 20 people that would walk by my booth did not know what a foam machine is. Now, 39 out of 40 people who walk by my booth do know what a foam machine is. And I know that I'm doing something right, because in the last 2 years, finally, there's a couple of other companies or people, I don't know if they're companies yet, but they're trying to be selling foam machines. And their pitch is, don't buy from Greg, don't buy from Party Machines, buy from us, we're better. And that is the most flattering thing that anybody can say about me, because if somebody's not trying to copy you or knock you off, then you're not doing something right.
I feel you there, man. I already got some knockoff party rental people that want to try and copy what I'm doing. They won't. for the most part. If they do, I rather have the bigger perspective. Me, I feel like I was born to do this. I grew up in the carnival and then whole entertainment industry. I've been doing this my whole life, and then now you put me in front of a radio mic and a camera, and it's like Jesus, look at them go. But how about this? How much does it start to get? How much does it cost to get started? That's a big question everybody's going to want to know.
Yeah, there's several options. The way it works, because I've been at this a while, I don't want you to spend any money. I want you to reach out. I'm going to give you the photos and the videos. You're going to advertise through your social media and your website. Again, I've got a warehouse full of inventory. You're on the long end, 3 business days shipping away from me. So why don't you advertise, book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events, take some money, and then call me. And this is where you spend as little as $700 for a machine ready to go. You can spend that doesn't come with a stand. It doesn't come with a pump but the $1,830 option. And all this is at the Party Machines website. And if you call the guys that compete against me, I promise you, they're going to tell you my prices too. The $1,830 option is the one I like because you get 2 complete setups with the foam cannon options included. And then if those things don't work for you, call me. I'll tell you how to put the machine together yourself. And I'll tell you how to make the foam liquid yourself, because the foam powder that I sell costs less money. It's easier and it works in cold water. And I'm not new at this. I'm good at what I do. I love what I do. And if you don't like the stuff that you buy from me, if you don't want to work with me, you're going to get all your money back. So the question was, how much does it cost to get started? Nothing to get started. When you book your event, then you call me, then you spend on the high end, $1,800, on the low end, $700, and you're off to the races. And you've got that stuff paid for in 3 weeks.
That's like one of my favorite pieces of advice, basically, because you can sit there and use that advice for anything in the party rental industry. You can go ahead and rent out and start booking a tent. And once you get 10 down payments, you got pretty much 10% of your tent, and then 10 times it should be rented and paid for too. So you can do that with a snow cone machine. You can do that with a cotton candy machine. You can do that with tents, bounce houses, and that's the best way to get into party machines. See if people want to rent in your area. You start putting some of Greg's videos or pictures out, and people are going to be like, yo, what is this? This is fun. And that's what we're out here doing, is we're renting fun. What's up?
I have a question for you, Justin. When you asked for photos and videos, how long did it take for me to send them to you?
Oh, I've called you 3 times. I called you once. The first time I called you was just asking a question, and you answered like within a couple of rings and gave me all the information. Didn't even buy anything from you. And then the second time I called you to see if you wanted to come on this interview, answered your phone right away, and you gave me a date and time. Then for everybody that's doesn't know the back end of all this stuff, we actually did a video yesterday, and it started lagging a little bit. So this is take 2, and he decided to go ahead the very next day because I wanted to release it today and do another interview. So he is for the people, I could say, for the most part. That he's very social. I like companies that are social, who can respond to you and put all information out there. But as far as pictures, website, and copy them too, you know what I mean? I don't know. They're probably out. I don't know. I probably should have said that way you look.
No, you're good. I'm pretty sure I sent you the videos and the photos yesterday.
Yeah, my email is horrible, man. I try to look at it a bunch. So the next question we have, what does your average delivery look like? So when somebody goes to set this up at somebody's house, are they dropping it off? Are they doing a customer pickup? Are they doing manned events? What do you see? You probably see it all because you sell it, but what do you see more of, or is it really just even down the middle like that? Because I think that's more of a market thing, and you got to figure out your market.
I agree. That depends on, everybody's got their own style. I tell people all the time, somebody will say, oh, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. There's this other company, they're renting them out. I'm like, great. You're all going to have more rentals. Raise your prices. Don't lower them. My favorite customer, I'm going to say it. Everybody might get upset. Carrie Ann Sykes from Canada. She's got 10, 11, 12 foam machines, and she's been a customer for a long time. She's a big Greg Gordon supporter, big Party Machine supporter. She sends all of them out on Friday because people pick them up from her. They use them for the weekend. They bring them back on Monday. I've told her before, she's like, I don't work on the weekends. These people pick them up, and all those foam machines go out during their summer, which is short, but every weekend. she gets them out. And she's my favorite story about that. And there's a lady in Colorado, Castle Rock foam parties. She bought one and she's got a rocking business and she wins awards now. And she's a foam business. I don't say go out and be a foam machine company. I say add this on. I've got a magician in Pennsylvania. I'm blanking on his name right now. I've got him in one of the testimonial videos on the YouTube, but he adds it to he does inflatables and stuff, and he adds it. He's like, Greg, it's an extra 125, and it takes me 5 minutes, and it weighs 14 pounds. I love that one. It weighs 14 pounds. I lose count how many times a week I hear it weighs 14 pounds. And you hear these people because they're making 125 as an add-on, or 250, 300, 400. I've got a New Jersey company, circustime.net. Those guys don't go out for less than $800. And then they're just story after story after story. And it's a good time. It's not complicated. And then here's another one I like to say. December, a guy goes to the website, orders the $1,065 for the full setup. About a week later, I get an email. Hey man, the party that I had I'm adding the inflection to it. It's an email. It says the party he had was canceled. What's your return policy? So I wrote him back and credited his money. And about a week later, the stuff showed back up in my shop because in the email I said, hey man, if you're not going to use it, I'm not going to give you a hard time. Your one sale doesn't affect how much food I eat in a day. So I'd rather you tell all your friends, let me tell you about this story. So it's like my motto is, for the refunds or the returns, it's like Costco. No, they don't give me a hard time, or I don't go to Costco. They don't give the person who goes to Costco a hard time. But so I don't do that either.
If you treat your customers bad, your name's going to end up like Omega Inflatables in this industry. They do a lot of branding for the most part, so they make themselves look good. So here I am going out and just counteracting that branding by telling you how horrible they are in a bunch of different videos until they actually step their game up. There's been a lot of manufacturers currently today, inflatable wise and stuff like that, tent wise, that were totally garbage starting out, but then they realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't screw my customers, and then it got good. So maybe Omega Inflatables will hear this and they'll actually put some more money in their product and a little bit less in their marketing. So here's to throw off everybody, or guess and what's going to happen in 2021.
I'm going to keep breaking records. That's what I do. It's if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you're not growing, it's
what about everybody else?
Do something else. So my mom.
What about everybody else?
I have to talk about my mom when I'm talking about sales, because she sold Tupperware when my brothers and I were growing up, and then she sold office supplies until she retired. And there's so many nuggets of wisdom. Did you get your no's today? Because every no is one no closer to a yes. And then the yucky customer, the yucky other vendor, all that stuff. It's one person. One person's not going to, if one person breaks you, then you need to get out of doing what you're doing because you're too fragile. But what do I think about the other folks in 2021? I think all boats rise. I'm a cup is half full guy, and I encourage everybody to succeed.
One of my favorite stories is there was a guy who went to a foreign country and he was there to sell shoes, and he goes there and he realized that everybody's not wearing any shoes. So he's like, oh, well, this is impossible. I'm just going to leave. Then another guy goes there, same country, to sell shoes, and he's calling his boss like, dude, we got down here. Nobody's wearing shoes. Like, we can sell a lot of shoes. So there's, you know what I'm saying? There's two different sides to marketing, and it's all based off your mentality and how you want to sell it. The hint to this year, there's going to be tents for COVID testing and pandemic testing, and then there's going to be a lot of backyard parties because everybody is not allowed to go anywhere else, and they have to stay at home. So there's nowhere else to even really go to. So they're looking for fun. So if you can bring that fun to their backyard, well,
14 pounds.
The marketing in this industry, Waterslides did insane last year. I saw big companies that were doing just basically all manned events and corporate events, and then suddenly they're buying 20, 30 Waterslides to keep up with backyards because that's the only thing going on. So back into foam machines and stuff like that, though. powder packs, gel packs. I know a little bit about your products. You basically have them even packaged to the point where they're how do you say it? They
Single
are
serving.
pieced out, single serving.
Single.
They're already measured, pre-measured packs, and then you also have your non-branded packs too. So when you rent this out, they're not going to look up partymachines.com and see how much it costs to buy all this stuff and all that. You can actually bring them just blank packs, and then they'll actually just use those. And now you can even have your own company logos on there personally, the vendor.
Yeah, we do the packaging in house. So yeah, we have the partymachines.com foam powder packs, and we have generic foam powder packs. So that was a customer idea. All the cool stuff is somebody else's idea. And then the machines have
the foam itself is what I'm really getting at. Like, but tell me the difference between foam and the gel.
The foam powder works in cold weather. The bubbles from the foam powder are not as strong as the bubbles from the liquids. The foam powder costs about 1/3 to 1/6 as much. That the trade shows way back in the day, the camp conference, the Tri-State, I was so proud I'd sell machines and I'd sell them a bucket of foam liquid stuff. And a year later they wouldn't buy it. Oh, Greg was the greatest. I'm like, why didn't you buy any more foam? They said, Greg, we make it ourselves. It's bubble bath and hair gel. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's how I got started. They're like, we don't need to buy it from you. So with that, I just figured out how to make the foam into a powder. And now I tell you how to make your own foam liquid or gel or whatever you want to call it. And the foam powder costs less. You can make a pile of bubbles in the yard with the liquids, and you put that next to a pile of bubbles in the yard made with a powder. 15 minutes later, the powder's all going to be gone. So there's no mess at all. The other stuff might still be sitting there. But when you're running foam over the kids in the yard, you don't need it to last any longer than it touches them. And they play in it. That's a false pitch that I've heard people, yeah, I'm shopping around. I'm like, how long does it last? Did the person tell you that it's going to cost you $60 an hour to run that stuff through your machine and the foam powder's 10? Oh, and also, did they offer you a free machine too? Yep. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they don't. So the difference between the liquid and the foam, the liquid foam is better because it costs 3 to 6 times as much. So it should be 3 to 6 times better. I sell the liquid and I have people that swear by it. I'm like, this costs less. They're like, yeah, we like spending the more money. Okay, well, great. And it's complicated, and stirring it up, the powder's just so easy.
It mixes very well. It's ease of use for the most part. You don't have to use that whisk to try to like go crazy for the most part. You still got to use the whisk, but you don't got to like. It's harder to whisk the liquid than it is to whisk the powder in.
If you have cold water, you can't do it. And also, I can't stress enough, because someone will say, what's better, the liquid or the powder? Well, if it costs 6 times as much, it better be 6 times as good. So the powder is not, it costs less money.
And foam is foam, I feel. And hey, you got the colored foam now too, don't you? I've seen some of that too.
Here's a secret. Yes, I have the colored foam. It's just color dye you can buy at Hobby Lobby. When you call me to want to buy the stuff from me, I'm going to offer to sell it to you. And I'm also going to tell you can go to Hobby Lobby and buy the color dye. Because, again, marketing. I make money selling the foam. All the extra stuff is extra and silliness. But people, and also, here's another trick. You can call me and say, Greg, hey, I want to buy some of the color dye. You know what? Why don't you give me some of the color dye? I bet some will show up in your packages because I can.
Try it out.
Yeah.
Best way to you can't just go to an inflatable manufacturer and just be like, hey, can I try out an inflatable? But you best could probably try some colored foam if you go ahead and buy one of Greg's foam machines. So why don't we talk about this bulk deal that you have? This is, if you're going to do it, go on your website, like he said before, and market it so where you can actually be able to buy this purchase. Because this is the purchase you're going to want to make. Because the key is to get your foam packs for a cheaper cost, because that's your cost for your party. And then if you buy enough foam packs at once, Greg's going to give you the machine. So you explain your little thing here.
You buy 102 foam powder packs, which is 3 boxes, and that's $1,375, and you get a free machine with it. It's the Super foam machine that comes with it. So I've got a guy that loves it, and I know I'm trying to act all innocent. He distributes them. He buys the foam machine for $6.95 and gets the foam packs for about $6.50, $6.66 a pack, because he says $13.95 or $13.75 minus $6.95, then you have 100. That's worth, the machine's worth that. And then he gets the foam packs, and he does the money dance all day long because that's affordable. And then he doesn't buy the stand from me because it weighs 14 pounds. He uses 10 by 10 pop-up tents and hangs them from there. And that's brilliant because the 10 by 10 pop-up tent costs less than the $145 stand that I sell. And I encourage that. And
you
then
could find some
when
good
you're
you could find some, oh, I'm sorry.
you do trussing, you just do a pull. I mean, it's 14 pounds. It's not complicated. And then when what happens is you buy more machines or buy more foam because you're doing more parties, and I give you more machines. I've got videos and videos of people talking about it. Al from Florida recently. I mean, I didn't even ask for it. It was just fantastic because I love what I do. You can tell, Justin. Can you tell I like what I do?
I'm the same way. Can you tell that I like what I do? I like talking about parties all day long. What I've been thinking, honestly, is because I haven't seen anybody in my area, but I haven't looked too hard. But I don't think anybody in my area has it, and I have a high priced area or a decently priced area. So I'm trying to come out, and if you're my competition or my friends or whatever, go ahead and look at this and contact me. But I want, you know what I mean? If anybody else is doing it this year, I don't want to be secretive. I want to all come out together at a very high price. Because I think our market can handle it for the most part, and we'll see who lowers it first, because you know how that goes. But you know what I mean? I don't think it's in our market for the most part. Is there foam parties in Buffalo?
There's somebody up there. Yeah. They come and they go too, because there's a lifespan of the equipment renter. As you know, your family's been in the business for a while. Like I get the rent, and I go back to the Carrie Ann's or the circustime.net out of New Jersey. Those are generational, but then I get the new ones, and they're just delightful. They're green, and I enjoy teaching and helping, and there's enough business, and it's growing. The more I sell, I hope that makes sense to people. But the more I sell, and there's no what is better. Do I buy this? Do I buy that? If you want to spend 6 times as much, I'll say the liquid foam. But I'm also, here's another one. The Canons. Canon. The Canon, your machine, the foam machine, the Super foam machine's got a sock that turns it into a Canon. When you run the Canon, I have people that use the powder, but the liquid works better. So it's 3 to 6 times as much to run a Canon, foam Canon, meaning it throws the foam because the bubbles need to be stronger to flow through the air, than a dumper with the Super foam machine. So yes, the liquid works better in the foam Canon. And I've got, I have every option under the sun. My customers are not the big raves. I've got that equipment. I brought in a bunch of stuff from Italy, and I'm bringing in more foam cannons from China, which, by the way, are now on eBay and Amazon. And when someone calls me, I always tell them that too. Like, hey, I've got one in my shop. You can order one from China. You might save $300, but I'm in Central Texas, and I'll ship one. You get it in 4 days, because I buy them from probably the same place the person is selling them on eBay. And then I sell the solution. So that's the business I'm in.
So here's a good question. Who, top 3 foam pit manufacturers?
Top 3 foam pit manufacturers. That's easy. Whoever you buy your inflatables from, you need to call them and say, I bought a foam machine from Greg Gordon, and I buy a lot of inflatables from you. I need you to make me a pit. Whoever makes your inflatables is going to give you the best deal on a pit.
Yep. Now, how about this? What type of stuff do you look for in a pit? What makes a good pit?
No pit makes a good pit. I'm not a fan of the pit, because when you set up a pit with a foam machine, it takes you more effort, you, the equipment rental company. So you're going to think, so you're going to think about renting the foam machine out less. I don't want you to use a pit. But what do you look for in a pit? You want an ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. You want an ADA compliant, meaning the entry, you do not want the big tube. You just want it open so the wheelchair can go in there. That's the biggest one. You want tie-down straps, number 2. And number 3, you don't want it too big, because you don't want it too big. The 24 by 24, my opinion, too big. 16 by 16, around there. That's Greg Gordon. You talk to 5 people, they're going to get 6 different opinions. I'm the guy that sells foam machines. 16 by 16 is sweet.
I love it,
And
man. And then
I have lightweight pits that I'll give you for free too. You just buy enough stuff.
16 by 16 is a lot less heavy than a 24 by 24. It sounds a lot. So, but okay, everybody, if you liked it, like and subscribe. Check check partyrentalknowledge.com out for more information. Also, check out partymachines.com out for more party machine information. I'm definitely gonna probably have Greg on one of our live streams so you guys can ask him some Q&A, because foam machines is definitely the topic for 2021. It's going to be bigger and bigger every year. So you heard it here first, people, unless you heard it from him on his 509,000 TikTok channel.
Hang on a second. Hang on. It's been 15 minutes. Hang on. We're almost there. Let's see what it says.
What does it say? Oh, we're almost at 600K. My bad. I missed a whole 94,000. Definitely worth there. You gotta, my bad. I would definitely show that too if I had 598. TikTok's the thing, man. If you can figure out how to get it local, like parties and stuff, if you can get your foam machine parties local circulating on TikTok, it's over. And that's what I'm trying to work on this year, getting it more local with the hashtags. And you gotta promote it like Instagram. It's hard. It's not as easy.
I'll post for people. Like I reach out to customers and I'll say, if you send me a video and I tell them the parameters I need, I put them on TikTok for them, and it helps.
Yeah, man, it helps. So if everybody need any more information, like I said, Greg Gordon, partymachines.com. Thank you for coming on, and we'll try and get you on the Party Rental podcast too.
Cool. Thanks, Justin. This was fun.